Hey y'all, whether it's morning, evening, or afternoon, I'm just glad that you guys had decided to vibe with E. Yes, the one and only E. Hey y'all, I hope y'all are feeling amazing, doing amazing, and just being amazing overall. And if not, it's okay. It's all right, my friend. Bad times don't last forever. After every storm, there is a rainbow, and you're getting closer and closer every day to that rainbow, okay? Just remember to stay positive, stay focused. Manifestation is real, and prayers work for sure. Okay. So without further ado, welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope everybody, is feeling good. And like I say all the time, if not, it's okay. It's all right. We have those moments, but those moments prepare us for the better moments to come, and so on and so on. So happy Wednesday, guys. This is the third Wednesday of the month. We got one more Wednesday to go, and I cannot wait for that Wednesday. That is wellness lessons 101. Wellness 101. Wellness lesson 101. I don't know why I always get a tongue tied, twisted, and all that with that. Like, I just don't know why I always, I don't know. It's just like, it's about to be a year. Like, this month makes a year since I did the Wellness Lessons 101. And it's like, I should know that, but probably because there's just so much that I have going on. Like, the Wednesday, just regular vibes, and the wellness series, and then the Vibe Out with Guest series that is going amazing. Like, I'm so excited for y'all guys to hear the next one that is coming Friday. And then I cannot wait for March, because in March, that is Social Workers Month and also International Women's Month. So I'm super excited about that with those vibes, as well as the guests that will be on those for those Fridays. So yeah, so let's give y'all a little rundown of everything that's going on. But I hope y'all all so far had a amazing February. I hope y'all had an amazing Valentine's Day. I hope y'all guys got a chance to listen out to Vibing Out with Guests. And as always, like I say all the time, I appreciate you all so very much from all over the world for even taking the time out of y'all busy days just to listen to me, because I understand how it is to get into it's like watching a series. Like, once you see one, once you listen or watch one of those episodes, and then you got your attention, it's like, I gotta come back for more. I gotta come back for more. I gotta come back for more. So if y'all are like that with this with this, excuse me, I appreciate it so much. And if not, you have your moments like, okay, I'm gonna vibe with her today, and not whatever. Regardless, I appreciate y'all so much for just taking the time out of your day just to listen to me. Like, I appreciate it, because shoot, it's the little things that matter to me. Like, I see y'all. Like, I wish I could turn the phone towards so y'all could see it. Like, I've been seeing people in Kenya, Ghana, Singapore. Like, bro, I feel like a superstar. I feel like a superstar a little bit, but regardless, I appreciate y'all so much, especially within my hometown, Baltimore. I think y'all, like, I just thank everyone from all over that's listening and taking the time to listen to me, and are learning something while listening to me. So I appreciate it a lot. I hope this is not in the audio, because y'all, my cord, I think my cord got a shorten in it, and I hope not, because I had this cord forever. So if it got a shorten in, I think I'm gonna cry. I really think I am, but it's okay. I just get another one. That's how it is when you're a part of the content world. Sometimes you gotta buy new equipment, buy new little things. Like, y'all, I had to buy a adapter for flash drives and everything, and I was just like, oh my god, I'm really in this. But it's okay. If I gotta buy a new cord for my Beats headphones, it's cool. I had the other headphones, the latest ones, but they don't have a cord, because it's it's the solos. They don't have the cords, but it's okay though. If I gotta buy another one, I'm gonna buy another one. Buy it off Amazon and just call it a day. Or I could use one of my other cords I got. I forgot about that, but I prefer the Beats one because it got the little mic in it too. But I digress. But without further ado, y'all, it's still February. In honor of February, we're still celebrating Black History Month, as well as celebrating love. So today's episode is tied into both. Like I mentioned to y'all, like, we'll be doing a pattern or somewhat a pattern. Like, the first week we did Black History when I was sick, y'all. thank y'all for even listening, because I listened back to it and I was like, this sounds horrible, because I just was like, when you're sick and things like that, it's just like the energy is not there, the excitement and all that is not there. So I was like, yeah, I think I would just, have to, if I get sick, hopefully knock on wood, I don't get sick no time soon. Y'all, I forgot, I can't knock on the wood because the board, but anyway, hopefully that don't happen, because like when you sick and your voice and all that, your body, it was horrible. I'm just shocked that I pulled through that, but it was horrible. But I heard a little bit. I was like, okay, they might was able to learn a few things. If not, I apologize. I'm so sorry. But like I said, the first week was Black History. Last week was Love, in honor of Valentine's Day being that Friday, and the Vibing Out with Guest series came out. And this week we're tying into both. And the wellness lesson, I cannot think off the top of my head. I can think of it off the top of my head, but I want y'all to wait for that one, because I'm excited about that one, because that one is something that I've really, really wanted to bring to everyone, to express within the African American culture, because it is Black History Month. Get the people, teach y'all a little bit of something and things like that. Because y'all know, if you're new here, I'm not biased. I support everybody. I don't care what you identify as and everything. However, it is February, which is honor to Black History. I love Black History. I learn something new every day, and I want that. I want to exchange that into putting it in the podcast, because the podcast is based on education and wellness. So why not give y'all a little insight of what I've learned, and y'all be like, dang, I didn't know that, because certain stuff that I didn't know about my culture and stuff like that, it's like, wow, like, who would have known? But without further ado, let's get into it. To the OGs, y'all know what I'm about to say. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. For the ones that are not new to this but true to this, what's poppin'? Let's get into it. So I want you guys to sit back, relax, and enjoy hearing my voice, or watching me. If you watch me on YouTube, get real comfortable, whether you're on the go, or you preparing, whatever the case may be. Just get real comfortable. Turn me up on your phones, PCs, MacBooks, iPads, whatever. Because today's vibe of the day is something special, as always. Okay? So today's vibe of the day is honoring Black history through family and ancestral love. So when I did my research on this topic, it was very different. Like I mentioned too, previous episodes, I'm a social worker at an HBCU, social worker major at an HBCU. And one of the courses that is required for us to take before we get into the school of social work is Black families. That course taught me so much about how the Black family was operated, Black Panther parties and stuff like that. It blew my mind. And like I said, by it being Black history, why not share that with you guys? And then in one of my classes I take now in my senior year is social work practice 3, and we had to do research on an African American pioneer, and so on and so on. So we've been doing a little bit of things surrounded with Black history too, as well as with my internship when I work with children that are in the 6th grade. They've been doing Black history trivia. So I just wanted to, when I found this topic, I was a little bit skeptical, because I'm like, but I was excited, because like I know some stuff, about the family, but ancestry, that's one thing that I always be like, oh, like ancestry.com and all that. For me, by my last name and stuff being so, like, it's not a common, I'll be like, it's every so rare for me to find people that had that last name. However, I did some research for my school, and I found, like, I want to say 5 to 6 people that had the same last name. And I was like, that is so crazy, because my last name is it's so rare. But Nevertheless, I was just a little backstory because I always give a little backstory about the vibe of the day and why I chose it. But I was like, okay, you know what? It is still Black History Month, and we're still honoring the month of love. So why not tie the two in and just give y'all a little bit of insight on both? So let's get into it. So I'm gonna say it again. Today's vibe of the day is honoring Black history through family and ancestry love. So y'all, let me pop myself because I gotta fix myself. Okay, there we go. And shout out to my friend Paris because y'all, I was recording on my phone. By me having a MacBook, I always record audio through the MacBook and I record the video on my phone. And I was just like, storage and all that. I didn't do my iPad because, on the iPad, it's so wide. It's not like, it's not standard. It's so wide. And most of the time, I read the notes off the iPad and the phone is recording. So if you're watching a YouTube video, you're going to see me with the phone in my hand and I'm looking at my laptop. So I'm recording my face and the audio on the MacBook. So shout out to Paris for that because, baby, I had deleted so much stuff and it was a lot. And I still need to buy storage anyway. So a win is a win. Shoot, a win is a win. But yes, today's vibe of the day is honoring Black history through family and ancestry love. As always, I like to give the definition because I want y'all to know a little background of it besides hearing my background story. So, honoring Black history through family and ancestry love, meaning recognizing and celebrating the collaboration of the Black community, both past and present. It also means honoring and respecting our ancestors and their culture. Finally, it means creating and maintaining relationships with our loved ones. So, like I said, also too, so we got to honor Black history, not just the history that we know, but also our family history and ancestry love, like for our ancestors before us and things like that. So this really connected with the course I mentioned that I took at Morgan before I became a full social work student, Black families. My professor laid out that class so good to the point where, y'all, that I wanted to have that class forever. But you can't have those classes forever. It's just for a semester, 15 weeks max. I was like, you know what? That's cool. But if they had a major just in that, just Black family studies and stuff like that, I probably would have minored in that. Because that's stuff like learning about your history and then taking those skills, to endorse with your family is crazy. Like a genograph. When I did mines for my family, it was like, wow. Because a genograph, on that, you will map out like who's who from the deceased, the connections, the lines, y'all. It was so dope because I was sitting there, I'm like, wow. Because it really have you thinking. And not only just in the Black family do you do genographs, everybody family. That's how you can understand how you're similar, how's different, how genetics and everything work. Just sitting there, just putting the pieces together. So y'all, when I was sitting there doing it in the class, like I remember being in that class, I sat like in the second row, the front row, but the second row. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I had the book in my hand. I had the book on my desk, my laptop, and my professor had it, the map out of the instructions and everything on her board. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm sitting here. And I was texting my mom to get some information and my dad, because like you have to do both sides. You gotta do you gotta do your dad and your mom and things like that. So if y'all ever want to do it, check it out because it is like it have you thinking, but it's like, dang, it helps you understand how your family is and what's the same, what's not, and X, Y, and Z. It's so cool, y'all. Like, I love it. So, let's get into it. If you're new here, I break down the vibes into a definition, the 5 W's, and a quote. And in the midst of the 5 W's, I give like what it is with the answers that I have created and give a little insight from my personal view or just, little insights in general because that's what keeps the vibe going. So, first one. Who are some ancestors or family members whose stories have shaped Black history and culture? So this is when it impacts with Black figures, that impacts with like who. Oh, sorry y'all. This I hit this. If you watch, excuse me, if you're watching on YouTube, Ocean Spray, Cranberry, anything, you better get it. I don't have my Stanley. My Stanley is not in arm's reach, and it needs to be with ice water and everything, but I wanted something fruity, so Ocean Spray, Cranberry, Watermelon it is. So if you heard that boom, that's what it was, y'all, from the audio and the video. Sorry. So when it comes to who are some ancestors or family members whose stories have shaped Black history, family, and culture, from the research that I have found, it says that we can look forward to figures such as Harriet Tubman, like I mentioned last time, Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Sojourner Truth, and Malcolm X. We can also look at our family members and elders whose stories helped us understand Black people's struggle and success through history. Now, before I get into this, one thing I also learned within Black families and previous when I was younger, but when I got older, I understand it more, was storytelling. When it comes to understanding your history, your ancestors' history, whatever the case may be, storytelling was one of the many things that carried a lot, not only for everybody, but mainly for African Americans. Like storytelling was one of the things that helped them out with a lot of things, especially like during slavery, segregation, everything. Storytelling was a big thing that within the African American community that brought everyone together. Just being able to sit down and listen to the elderly in the family, matriarch, whatever, just sit down and tell their stories is like mind blowing. Because when somebody tell me a story, I imagine everything. So like they could say from all the details, I could imagine like how this happened, how that happened, and things like that. So storytelling is very, very important. It's like it brings people together, and it's like wow, these stories really created so much that impacts with so much with down the line. So storytelling is a powerful tool for for preserving culture and passing down wisdom from generation to generation. It allows us to keep our ancestors' memories and experiences alive, ensuring their struggles and tribulations are never forgotten and never forgotten. Through the storytelling, we can inspire future generations to embrace their heritage and carry on the fight for justice and equality. We can then strive to use their stories and lessons to guide us on our journeys in creating a better future for Black people. We can also use their legacy to fight for justice and equality. In this way, we can pay tribute to our ancestors and use their legacies to create a more equality and just society. Excuse me. Through storytelling, we not only honor our ancestors, but create a pathway for future generations to continue fighting for what they believe in. So, when it comes to who are some ancestors or family members whose stories have shaped Black history and culture, Harriet Tubman, Dr. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Rosa Parks, etc., from historical figures, and then drops down to your families or African American families you may know. From generations to generations, the elderly talk about storytelling from their experience that can also help the new generation or the previous generation to come, how they have it broken down, what Gen X, Gen Z, and stuff like that. So generations on generations, storytelling, like I mentioned, is very powerful within the Black household, within Black families, because not only does it bring us together, but it also, us meaning the Black community, together, but it also help us shape ourselves for the better. Like even regardless of how big or small the issue may be, those stories motivate us to do good. Like stand up for what we believe in, you know, be proud to be the person that you are and the skin that you have, and etc. So Yeah, that also impacts with the ancestry love because it's like you're still carrying on that generation. You still still carrying on that, and then admiring the love and support that they have, the blood, sweat, and tears, and things of that nature. So, what traditions or values passed down through generations impacts Black families today? So, I would say in my family, you got to be tough. So, strength, hard work, dedication, things like that are very, very important, especially in my household. You once you put yourself out there, you got to make sure that you're ready for this. You got to make sure that this is what you want to do and don't give up on it. That's why for me, like every time I say when I start something, I have to finish it, regardless of how I have my days where I don't want to do it or I'm sick or whatever. Like for the podcast, for example, with that episode I said I did not like and y'all still listen to it. Even though I was sick, I still found a way for me to. I just realized y'all I didn't have my nose ring on. But anyway, back on track. Regardless of anything that happens in life, I feel like if I start something, I have to finish it. I don't care how big or small it is. I don't care what's going on. I got to make sure I finish it. But sometimes it's not a good thing, especially when you're sick. You know, if your body can't handle nothing, you got to chill out. But, at that moment, I was like, okay, I feel a little better. But y'all, it got a little worse after that. So I'm not going to lie to y'all. But I'm back. But in my household, strength, hard work, dedication, and believing in yourself is the biggest things ever that impacts with the tradition, the values. Now, traditions is a lot. It's not, I wouldn't say a lot, but it's a lot within traditions. And like I have family and friends that, well, in the black household, black families, if you have family that's not your family, you know the saying, blood is thicker than water, but you need water to survive. Water in the black family is considered kinfolks, like how your mom's best friend is your auntie, your father's best friend is considered your uncle. So that part of my family, we created traditions. They told me traditions, my friends, and so on and so on. And their values are somewhat similar or somewhat different, but it's all a learning experience. Get the drift, hopefully. But so these values include resentment, strength, and determination. Those were the main things that I seen that black families were very strong on. Resistance, strength, and determination. Those were their main three from like they did the study and everything on for that. Black families also have a strong tradition of community, unity, and activists. That was one thing that was the three things too that they were really, really big on because community, I feel like that one was I feel like that was going to be in there regardless. Unity, that was one thing too. I felt like all of it was, I really thought for values, they were going to put like, but I feel like strength and hard work, no, it's not the same. But it is what it is. Those, when I seen those, I was like, okay, that makes sense. I'm here for it. And it makes sense. So when I was like, okay, and that's what most most of the people that I deal with associated that have black families and a part of black families, that's what they say all the time. So I was like, okay, and unity in the black community as a whole, that's first thing, unity, communication, community, strength, wealth, and things like that. So these values have been passed down from generations to generations and are the foundation for creating a better future. These values influences black families dynamics by fostering close kin relationships like I just mentioned, where support and encouraging are very important. So resentment and strength helps family members overcome challenges together, while determination drives them to strive for success despite the obstacles. One thing about the black community, they stay together regardless of anything that go on. And also back then with ancestries, within like the storytelling from ancestors and the elderly and stuff like that, regardless of whatever happened, every story you hear, they stuck together. They were together. regardless of such and such got on their nerves, they still gonna fight with each other because that's what they stood on, that's what they believe in, that's what they were about. Still to this day. These values, we already said that. Sorry, guys. Okay. Resentment and strength help family members overcome challenges together, while determination drives them to strive for success despite the obstacles. I really, really like that because it takes a village. You know how they say it takes a village to raise a family? It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village for everything. And that in the black, not only within the black community, but other communities too, you see it like, dang, it really takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village for everything. And just being able to be close with that person, with your village and your reasons, things like that, it gives you strength and it gives you like, wow, somebody really cared for me. Like these people really, they really here. So that's a good thing, especially when it comes to family, blood related or kinship. Family is family. However long you knew them and whatever the case may be, family is family. That's how I look at it. Family is family. I don't care, black, white, we family regardless. So, especially if we had that bond, we family regardless. So, hold on, y'all. I missed my place. I don't even have my glasses on, but that's cool. That's cool. Where we at? Y'all, like, I really missed it. Like, I really missed it. So, okay, hold on, because we said success despite the obstacles. Okay, here we go. So, when it comes to community and unity, wait, hold up. Did I get ahead? Did I get ahead or did I get ahead? OMG. Y'all, I really feel like I went ahead. I'm so excited, but I went ahead. Oh, yeah, there we go, I think. Okay, there we go. The enthusiasm, sorry, y'all, on community and unity ensure that families work collectively for the betterment of all and become a shared responsibility to advocate for justice and equality. The elderly played a crucial role in maintaining these traditions by serving as the keepers of the family, history, and culture. They pass down stories, values, and life lessons that shape the identity and benefits of the younger generation, which is very important because I like hearing stories about my great grandparents and things like that because it's like, wow, they really paved the way and they were like the head of the family. They kept the family together. They were the ones that, if such and such, if Keisha and Joni is fussing or whatever, the grandmother is going to come in. Big mama, whatever the case may be, going to come in and we not having that. Same thing with Tyrone and Daquan. You know, they keep it together because family is all we got. Not only does he say that in the black community, but in every community with family. Family is all you got. And you have to make sure you have to love on one another before it's too late. And that's what I love about hearing from the older generation and the elders and stuff, talking about stories and why they hold down the fort as they do, because that's in their nature. And that's what it's all about within the family. Especially for the younger generation, like my generation, like we need that. Like we need to stick together. Like we all have moments in our life where we don't get along or we don't deal with each other like that. And once that older person in the family brings everyone together, it's like, dang, but for a good reason. Because most of the time, you don't want to see your family when it's not a good reason. Like when someone passed and stuff like that. I don't like seeing that, but it happens and it's getting better, I'll say. From my side, it's getting better. But other than that, most families, they can say, I see people going family reunions, having family trips, stuff like that. Like, it's coming back, y'all. It's coming back for my family. If the same thing for y'all, I'm telling y'all, pray on it. Talk to each other about it. Talk to the elders of the family or the elder, whatever, and get everything back together. Because we need each other. We all we have. You know, family is important, regardless of African American. whatever you are, family is important. I don't care what color you are, whatever, or you identify as. Family is what you need. Blood related or kinship. Family is family. Okay. So, through their wisdom and guidance, elderlies install a sense of pride and responsibility, ensuring that a legacy of resentment, unity, and activism continues to strive through within the Black family. These values deeply influences younger generation worldviews by installing a strong sense to identify and purpose. Sorry. They learn to view challenges as opportunities for growth and are inspired to contribute positively to their community. I felt that because that's one thing I learned within the stories and stuff that I've heard from the elderly that's still here in my family or who have passed. Their stories help shape the way, because I remember also too, in Black families we had to do a project on an elderly and our person telling their story about like how it was back then growing up during segregation times. How did their family get through things? How did they get through things? Like, just how did family play a big part in their life for them to stay calm but still fight for a good cause? And I did mine on my grandmother, and I learned a lot from her that I didn't know about. So that was very interesting because, sometimes it's like you think you know your peoples until you sit down and really have to ask questions that are very deep in historical events. And when I learned, I was like, wow. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, how do you, from them going to school, from them like coming home, going out in public, X, Y, and Z. I was just like, wow. And how they had friends that became their families, and they had kinships and things like that that always looked out for them and made sure everything was okay. Especially neighbors too was a big thing. Like back then, you in the neighborhood, you have a good neighbors, they turn into your family as well. So I learned that too, and I was like, wow. And it's still like that for certain generations and certain families, cultures, and things like that. So just having those relationships and being friendly and stuff like that, it helps you get a long way. And you don't know, like, you might become family even though we're not blood. So that was I believe like that. With a foundation of resentment, unity, and activists, younger generations are empowered to activate for social change and champion justice. This is done by carrying forward their ancestry legacy. So like I said, like all the stories that I heard from like my grandmother, I don't say great aunts or great uncles. I just say aunts, uncles that are older, things like that. It helped me and empowered me because I'm like, okay, they've been through a lot. They've been through a lot as an African American female or male to get to where they at now. Especially my grandmother, my dad's mom, when she before she passed, my dad told me a lot of stories about her within it comes to like education. Her sisters, which was my aunt, told me like, and then like their mom, and everything was just coming together, and it was just like, wow. It inspired me because it's like I see little icks and little things that they had installed in me. And you'd be surprised, you like if you ever take the time to sit back and talk to your family or whatever, and just ask them questions, and they'd be like, how some parents be like, oh, you acting like such and such, you acting like such and such, or you remind me of such and such. You'd be like, why? Like, why do you keep saying that? Just sit down and have a conversation and figure out why, because you'll be mind blown on why your family say you look or compare you to this other family member. It's a good thing, it's a good thing. Make sure it's all good things, you don't want no crazy, but it's okay to have a little crazy. But just to sit back and just listen to stories impacted with your family, your ancestors, it's like a whole 360. And also that if your family or you see or notice things within yourself, it's like, wow, this is really for real. Like, I see this. So yeah. When is it crucial to reflect on and appreciate the contributes of our ancestors to preserve their legacy? So this is like giving their flowers, paving the way, honoring them for paving the way, etc. It is worthwhile to reflect on our ancestors' legacy every day. I feel like every day you should appreciate it, not just like Black History or like whatever, like whatever it is in your culture, not just for that time. You should do it every day, no matter how big or small it is. Just paving the way and appreciating on your family, ancestors, and so on. Such as, especially on special occasions, such as holidays and other celebrations. So, like, I say every day, but when it comes to holidays and other educations, other occasions, celebrate them deeper. Like holidays, like if they had a tradition for Christmas and stuff, and they no longer here or they're still here, give it a little extra, like put a little razzle dazzle on the holiday. Christmas, Thanksgiving, whatever holiday, even whatever holiday you made, whatever holiday your family y'all made up. Birthdays, I really go hard for birthdays. Like you gotta go hard, celebrate, do the balloons release or give them their flowers. I'm big on giving your flowers while you're here. Whatever the case may be, celebrate harder, but also acknowledge them every chance that you get within a day, at least once. These moments provide an opportunity to realize and honor their accomplishments and remember the importance of their legacy. Honoring ancestors strengthens community unity by reinforcing shared values and cultural heritage. It brings people together through collaboration, remembrance, and appreciation, fostering a sense of belonging and mutual respect. That is a big, big thing. Having a sense of belonging and a sense of respect. We gotta respect each other, regardless if you do not like that person or not, family or not. Respect is respect. Respect is, so the saying, respect is not earned, it's given. And sometimes it's like, sometimes when I say it, I be like, that's right, because respect isn't is earned, it's not given. But at all times, regardless, if you gotta put that mask on, do what you gotta do. But if they didn't do nothing to you, please still respect them. Take it from me. Respect is respect, but it's not given, it's earned. Especially if somebody did something to you didn't like, but that's another topic for another day. So, this practice creates a strong bond with the community, ensuring collaboration and support for one another in the pursuit of common goals. Basically, like, please respect that person because you never know where this could go within your family, friends, anybody. Not just in the Black family, but every generation, every race, all that. This impacts everyone. There are, hold on, I'm used to my iPad and my phone by being so small and I ain't got my glasses. Bear with me. So, okay, there we go. There are various ways to honor ancestral collaborations, such as storytelling sessions where elders share historical accounts and personal experiences with the younger generation. That's up my alley. I like stuff like that. I love to hear the elderly talk about stories and situations in their life versus in our generation. Because, like, sometimes, like, when we complain about the little stuff, and then you think back to the people that the elderly people that that been through 10 times worse than we have. And I just be like, you know what? I'm going to suck it up. Because I always think about that person. You always got to think, like, they're dealing with bigger stuff than me, and I'm fussing over this little itty bitty thing. Let me get myself together and shaping up. So think that way. Just think that way. Additionally, organizing cultural events and rallies can highlight traditional practices and customs, allowing the community to connect with their roots. Engaging in community service projects inspired by values of past generations can also be a meaningful tribute as it reflects the spirit of giving back and uplifting others. So within the HBCU, I love about that too. They have events where they have the elderly stuff come out. Some if not even in HBCU, certain communities too, they do things impacting like, you know, the elderly and stuff like that. So I seen a video of these little kids from all different races and older people from all different races. It was like, I don't know what it was called, but it was like the elderly and the little kids. Like these kids, well, children, because kids is baby sheeps. I believe they were between the ages of 3 and 4. They were in preschool, and I guess they were spending time with each other. And you know, little children, they don't know no better. So when they did the interview with them, it was so like mind blowing, because it was like, not only were they learning, the younger generation was learning from them, but the older generation was learning from the younger generation too. And just like they had activities within the community, like they did, they went to the park, they went to the beach, just like spending time with each other. And it was just like, wow, it blew my mind, because it was just so cute. But it blew my mind because it's like, they really understand certain stuff that they're saying. And I was like, and my mouth was just like, I was stunned, because I'm like, oh my gosh. And we need that. It helps not only just the younger generation, but it needs to be for all generations to connect with each other on different levels. Oh, excuse me, because you never know, like that could really make someone's day. I remember one of the ladies on there was like, at first I didn't want to walk, I didn't want to go nowhere until the preschool reached out. I think it was a nursing home or day center, and they did the activity. She said she been having the best days of her life since. And I was like, a little tear almost dropped. But I was like, oh my gosh, like it's there. Like people are really doing stuff like this. It's uplifting. They're making meaningful tributes, the storytelling and etc. Like it's so mind blowing. So, excuse me, guys. That was so trifling. We got, after this, we got one more. And I know y'all probably like, wow, this is a lot. I hope y'all like, this is a lot, because this is a lot now that I'm saying it out loud. Because when I type stuff, it's like, ooh, but when I say it out loud, it's like, oh my gosh, like for real, this is like mind blowing. I'm like a big kid, y'all. I'm like a big nerd. Certain stuff like this just excites me. That's why I love what I do. So, where can families find inspiration and resources to connect with their ancestral roots? So, family can find inspiration through visiting their cultural heritage sites, museums, and libraries, which offer rich insights into historical traditions and practice. Now, like I said, I'm a big nerd. I love stuff like this. I love the museum. And shout out to DC for having an amazing African American museum. I think that has 4 or 5 floors that breaks down history from way, way, way back up until this generation. I love DC. Now, for that. Now, my hometown, Baltimore, we got a museum. It's called the Black and Wax Museum. It's a little, it's nowhere the same size as the African American Museum in DC, y'all. That thing is huge. I think it's like 4 or 5 floors. Huge. The Blacks and Wax Museum, y'all. At my grown age, I still don't like going there. It just scares me. Like the wax figures, because they look too real. And I think within the Blacks and Wax Museum in Baltimore, I think it's 3 floors. But even though it's smaller and stuff, you still get a good amount of history. But I really, really like DC because it's bigger. But shout out to my hometown too, because shoot, that I think we also have another one, Original F. Lewis. That's a museum also too. So that one's a little bit bigger, but DC, it just breaks down from the very, very, very beginning, from slavery all the way up to segregation. Then it goes to fashion, HBCUs, so on, so on. But nevertheless, museums are key to history as well, because you learn a lot from about your roots. Going to the library too, just reading historical figures, autobiographies, biographies, and things like that is like, wow. And then also, online, like I mentioned earlier too, about the ancestries and family tree stuff. That's also another one too that I will get deeper into talk about. But families are inspired through, visiting cultures, visiting hometowns. Like for my dad's side, most of his family is from Virginia. I learned this a little bit, so it's like down south areas, North Carolina and stuff like that. My mom, I think, is mostly up here in Baltimore. My mom's family is smaller than my dad's. My dad's side is very big, very very big. My mom is like somewhat small, but probably like I want to say medium. I want to say allegedly, but you can visit, wherever, the websites, museums, libraries, and things like that. So, participating also in workshops or classes that focus on traditional crafts, music, or cooking can offer hands on experience and a deeper understanding of cultural heritage. Now, traditional crafts, I see like stuff like that is like in DC. My city, we do like, dang, what is that? Artscape and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of people love that, y'all. I haven't been to Artscape since I was a little girl, and every year I want to go, it pours down rain. But this year I make sure I'm gonna go, even if it rain or not. I'm be like, look, I'm here, cause that's where all the stars and stuff come. Like I'm not missing it. Music, we're real big on music and the food up here. So you know, my phone dropped, y'all. Sorry for the boom bye bye. But that is very important. Additionally, connecting with cultural organizations or community groups can provide values and resources, and opportunities for learning and exploring ancestry tradition. These activities can be a great way to build relationships with people from different backgrounds. I said this year I'm going to start exploring and doing little stuff because I'm a big nerd on history. I love history. World history, I guess you could call it, is world history. I really didn't like U.S. history when I was in school, like in high school. I just was like, I really don't like this. But the crazy thing was, y'all, I took U.S. history and world history at the same time in my senior year in high school. I was like, I don't like this, but it is what it is. Still learning amazing things and learn about different other backgrounds and stuff like that. So, encouraging these activities to be a sense of pride and connection to one's cultural roots. Family can explore online platforms such as Ancestry.com and My Heritage, which offers tools for tracing family lingering, and uncovering historical records. Websites like the Library of Congress and UNESOE provides access to a wealth of cultural heritage information, including digital archives and multimedia resources. Social media groups and forms decisions to help you find your families and cultural heritage can also serve as supportive communities for sharing information and connecting with others who share similar interests. Y'all, social media will have you looking at a person like, I know you lying. like I said, for me, for my last name, it's not a common last name. So when I see somebody with that last name, I be like, are we related? Like, I be really want to sit there and do that. Like, in my hometown, years ago, y'all, we ran into my dad and I think and my little sister and my brother. We were out, and this guy had a shirt on with our last name. They must have had a family reunion, and they had the family tree on his back. Y'all, when I say it stood out to me, because like my last name is not a common last name. Our last name is not common. So it's like when you see somebody that has a last name like you and stuff like that, you like, are we cousins? But you want to make sure that you're cousins before you say cousin or auntie and all that stuff. So y'all, do your research. Ancestry, I never went on Ancestry. I don't know what it is. I wouldn't say I'm not scared, but I'm gonna be shocked at the stuff that I see. I'll be like, wow. Like I'm not gonna lie. I think I want to do a little background check on the students that went to Morgan or probably is at Morgan that had the same last name as me, spelled the same and everything. You got to make sure it's spelled the same too. No apostrophes and all that. You got to make sure it's the same because y'all, when I looked it up for the email, it was like four or five. I want to say five, 4 or 5 or 5 or 6 people with the same last name, and most of them I want to say was females. And I was like, okay, because y'all, when like it's crazy because like some people find out about their family during high school, middle school, college. I had that experience. So, it's okay. It'd be shocking. It's like, oh my God, it's like, it'd be the people that you're really close with too, or people that you don't like. And you'd be like, dang, we cousins. But it turns out good though. It turns out real good. So, like, take that leap on faith. And if you a person that wants to discover your family and whatever thing, do it. I suggest y'all go on the ancestry and all that stuff. Do it for me. And lastly, why is understanding and honoring ancestral love crucial to celebrate Black history? Ancestry love is a crucial part of persuading Black history because it allows future generations to understand and appreciate their ancestry struggle. It further ensures and encourage a sense of pride and belonging in African American communities in helping to protect their culture for future generations. This understanding also helps to foster a sense of unity and connections within the Black community. It also serves as a reminder of resentment of African Americans and their contribute to the progress of the United States. Education plays a crucial role in persuading ancestral love by providing individuals with the knowledge and contents necessary to appreciate their cultural heritage. Through educational programs and curriculums that includes African American history, culture studies, and students can gain a deeper understanding of this experience and the contribute of their ancestors. This knowledge empowers them to carry forward the legacy of their forebears, fostering pride and community to celebrate and preserving Black history for future generations. So that was the last part, but I also have a quote for y'all, but I wanted to say this. I love when I do the whys within every vibe because it sums up the whole thing. It just points out like this is important or this is why we do what we do because of whatever. So within Black families, honoring Black history through Black families and ancestry love is a thing where not only does it educate us, but it also lets not just the Black community but other communities too to honor their ancestors and help teach the generation to come, the future generation and the generations to come. Because history and education is very, very important. Like that's something no one can take away from you. Once you learn something, nobody can take that away from you. And once you, like what I do, give it to y'all, insights and stuff, no one can take that away from you. And like I said, Black families really, really, really paved the way a lot for this episode because it helped me understand my ancestors, how things are, so on and so on. Like just sucking up all that history and stuff, it was just like a breath of fresh air. And when you learn about it, it makes you want to discover more. Tell your friends, tell your family, whatever. Like I feel like for me, and my dad be like all the time, your brain is a sponge. Like you absorb, like once something fresh, you absorb it. Is like you hear it and you see it all the time. It's stuck in your mind. It's like I gotta do something about this. So for me, like I love learning history. If I could have minored in history, I would, but I think it wouldn't work out because history, I wouldn't say it's complex, but it kind of is because, you got to take your time, learn this part of history, that part, especially at HBCUs, it take you from this one all the way till that one. But nevertheless, y'all, before we do the quote of the day, I hope y'all guys have learned a lot. If not, I feel like there's no way in the world when people listen to stuff like they didn't learn nothing. It's like you might gotta go back and listen to it. Cause sometimes for me, I'm like, if it's distractions and stuff, I gotta listen to it over. But if I love it, I'm gonna listen to it over and over and over again. It's like a song, or watching a movie, whatever. But as always, I always say all the time, if I can't help a handful of people, long as I help someone, and I hope this helps someone understand their culture and stuff, even if they're not in the black community or they half black, whatever. Just helping people understand family is important. Knowing your family history is very important. And ancestral love is also important. Just being able to sit back, learn about your family or where you come from, your race, whatever. Just being able to learn about who you are, what makes you you is very special. And why not brag on it? So, like I said, y'all, hope y'all learned a thing or two. I hope people learn at least 5 things. At least 5 is the max. I hope you guys, tell a friend, tell your family, whatever, but also do your own research. You cannot go wrong with doing research, y'all. Sometimes I don't like doing it, but you gotta do it. But I leave y'all with this quote. As Maya Angelou once said, we are braver and wiser because they exist. By honoring our ancestors, we celebrate their satisfactions and achievements, keeping their legacy alive through love and remembrance. I really like that. Maya Angelou is a very, very amazing. She was an amazing poet. Like how she just translated words, and when I would hear audios and stuff, I was like, beautiful. But nevertheless, y'all, I hope y'all guys have enjoyed today's vibe of the day. I hope you guys have learned a lot. I hope you guys are eager to do your own research a little bit about your heritage, like if you're mixed or whatever the case may be, just learn about it. Ask your family, ask your grandma, grandpa, great uncles, aunties about whatever you want to know about and what makes you you and things of that nature. And also, I hope this helps you teach the generation to come, like your children, your grandchildren, whatever the case may be. Just being able to teach the next person is very important because you never know who may feel the same way and things like that. Y'all, if y'all hear that static, it's time for a new cord. I'm so sorry. It's time for a new cord because I hear it in my ear and it's just killing me. So I am going to get a new cord, y'all. Hopefully, or I could probably fix this one. But without further ado, like I say all the time, please be safe out here. Please love on one another. Please remember that bad time don't last forever. We have those moments in our life so they could prepare us for the good times. Like we have to have those moments that shape us for the good things to come. Remember, pray on it, manifest in it, take your time, deep breath, have those 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, whatever, 45-minute conversation with yourself. Health is wealth. Do your self-care, and most importantly, love on one another and display nothing but good vibes. Okay? And until then, you guys will hear from me next Wednesday, and you guys will hear from me this Friday. I cannot wait for y'all to hear me this Friday with my amazing, exciting, intelligent guest that I have. So without further ado, please be safe out here. Bundle up wherever you at, take care of your body, take your vitamins, keep yourself up, and just be you. And until then, you guys will hear from the one and only E, your favorite podcaster, new coach, and CEO. If y'all see the video, y'all see I got my hat on. But yes, y'all, please just be safe out here. Love on one another. Love yourself. And yeah, appreciate yourself. And until then, I love you all so much. Thank you all for your support, your time, and effort, and just vibing out with me. And until then, you guys will hear from me next Wednesday. Bye.